Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that it chose to join me today as we get into a maw that is now opened. Because last episode we fed it the regrets of a person. Ooh, this looks nice! Oh, this looks awesome. This is like a mixture of Cardis and... what is this? Okay, I was not expecting that. We got... Lost Anchorage. We need to come here, and we can go back. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so let's actually check the codex, because I've been neglecting this quite a lot. Reen, she's good. So let's see. Anchorage. What about Anchorage? Can you tell me about Anchorage? That's not there. Lost Anchorage, actually. These are creatures. The Lost... No, it starts with an L. There it is. In the distant past, the Anchorage was a lavish port for trade and tourism between worlds. Constructed in a grand style, well, you don't say, sparing no expense, it orbits a world that is far from your own. The civilization that built the Anchorage is long gone, and the place is inhabited only by Lascars, descending from those who once crewed the ship that came and went from the Anchorage. Now they are trapped in the Anchorage, maintaining its systems as best they can, awaiting a ship that will take them home. Oh yeah. Okay, well, I think I might have...
I'll remember that.
I was gonna say I might have rescued these guys, but they want to go home. They don't want to leave. So, yeah. This careworn woman is dressed in strange ornate armor. Her bearing is military stiff, her eyes roam constantly, though the rest of her body is under strict control. She assesses you with a glance. Outworlder, the Bloom portal is open? It is good that you spoke to me first. Few Lascars speak your tongue. Officers mainly. And she clucks her tongue. We need practice. Welcome to the Anchorage. It is good that the portal has opened again, she thinks. Perhaps we can recover our missing people. I am Captain Yanur. This Anchorage is my command. All you see is under my command. Explore our home if you like, but our traditions, respect them, please. Okay, well, I met some of your crew in the Bloom. Yamadar Areki and her crew, and she presses a hand to her chest and bows her head. Our thanks, Outworlder, from myself and from my crew. Should you see her again, please tell her that the way to the Anchorage is open to her. These were the guys that we found in the second area that we visited, right? I think it was. Yamadar Areki, I remember that name, I think. Blessed day, she thinks. Our people have returned to us. Oh, that's fantastic. I also found this broken helm in the Bloom. In the trash, but sure. Her gaze flicks down to the helm in your hands and back up. She draws in a long, controlled breath. Achille. I knew she was lost to us, but I take no pleasure in it. Thank you, Outworlder. Her family will be glad to have it back once you surrender it to me. She lifts her eyebrows expectantly. Well, I listened to one of her memories. She thought she'd found something important. Disgust flashes across her stony face, and is just as quickly suppressed. I do not wish to hear of her private memories. Her thoughts are hers, and should die with her. The last sentence has a lilt to it, as if Yanur is quoting verse. Yeah, probably. This looks a little bit too beliefy. She's not really arguing why that should be the case, but yeah. The hard line of her mouth softens then. Achille was intelligent, adventurous, but prone to wild theories. Do not worry about her important discovery. Let it fade with her. Well, you said you're planning on giving the elm to Achilles' family? Yes, but not immediately. First, I will erase the private memories inside it, as is tradition. Then I will clean it, perform maintenance rituals. After, the helm will be given to her eldest siblings. Okay, well, I want to hold on to the helm a little longer. I need to see what she discovered.
I'll remember that.
She gives you a hard look. No, you cannot scavenge through her memories because the helm is not tuned to you. And besides, it is forbidden. And she falters, her mouth hanging open. I had this conversation once before. I had it with Achille. The corner of her mouth twitches, but she does not speak for a long moment. Fine, she says, sweeping a hand over her eyes. It would make her happy to know that her elm is carried by someone with her curiosity. Take it with her blessings. Yeah, I figured that it was going to be the case. Well, because, you know, in looking into whatever she was looking at, by the way, if you've forgotten about the memories, she eventually died. Basically, she was assassinated. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but Achilles' memory said she needed to compare her data to the navigational cortex's archives.
I'll remember that.
Yanur claps her hands over her ears, hesitates, then drops them, eyeing you balefully. Do not share the memories of fallen Lascars with others. It is not done. Understand? She stares at your left, weighing to your left, weighing her response, and continues. Forget this memory. We do not let Outworlders visit the Cortex for any reason. Well, I guess that's it, Erity sighs. There's no way into the Cortex chamber, and we're not the type to sneak in when everyone's backs are turned. Then he freezes. We aren't, are we? He whispers, concerned. Well, I think we might be. Tell me more about your people. We lived here on the Anchorage, as did our ancestors for countless generations. Trapped here, they grew old, intermarried, raised families. Our laws came one by one as we built a new society here in isolation. We are military, Lascars, soldiers, sailors. We have hierarchy and strength. All know their place. All have the chance to ascend on merit. No favoritism. My own child is not even a Yamadar. I do not review her records. I could lose my position for such an infraction. And she shrugs. All families have such struggles. Yeah, well, I get the feeling that she might be describing what they want to be more than actually what they actually are. The thing is, no favoritism. This notion over here that doesn't actually come from the rules. It comes from the culture. And she's describing very much the rules rather than the culture. So it might be that the culture is not okay. I mean, that they want to have favorites, and I think she might have something at stake with the this reaction of her over here might have been something. I don't know what they're into, but yeah, perhaps we will serve together one day. She thinks. What a wonder that would be. Oh yeah, she's talking about her kid. Yeah, okay, good. Such a family are we, Lascars. We struggle against time, against memory, as we keep an eye on to the sky, always dreaming of escape. Until then, we hold tradition of the civilization of home. Okay, well, can I help you to leave the Anchorage? I don't think she wants to. She smiles slightly. We are not searching for any port that will take refugees. We await the ship that will come for us. Our tradition tells us that home has not forgotten us, and that we will one day breathe its air again. Until we can reach home, we will not. And she chuckles. Could you summon the ship to us, or create a pathway to our native land? We would depart gladly, but not until then. Well, maybe I will be able to do that. I did that for Rin, so I don't see any reason not to do that for you. Tell me about the ship. Until the ship appears from the void and comes to take us home, we serve the Anchorage as did generations encountered before us. Some fear the ship may never come, but we hold our eyes to the heavens in faith. And she spreads her hands wide. Until that day, we toil. When the ship comes, and it comes soon, it will find a welcome berth in our Anchorage and in our hearts. Okay, how long have you waited for the ship? As long as necessary, Outworlder. Wait a minute. How long have you waited? She has a weird way of talking, and I think that might be because of you know, she had, from the start, she had weird sentences and all that. It might be because she's not completely familiar with the language that we speak. She stops retranslating your words. Oh, apologies. Oh, yeah, okay. So yeah. Anyway. We have waited for many families, many parents. My family, their family, and their family. And back many families before them. The Cortex would know, surely. But I do not think we wait much longer. Something in the Anchorage's air. It smells of our time here coming to an end. The ship will come soon. Genghis, or Genius, feels the same. Genghis sounds a little bit better, and he would know better than any. Okay, well, I need to keep a lookout for this person. What's that pinging noise that I don't hear? But yeah, what's that? She looks at you strangely for a moment, as if she had no idea what you spoke of, and then comprehension comes. Oh, the signal. For so long have I heard it, I have forgotten. We call for the ship. Perhaps it has become lost. If so, we light a beam in the void. Okay, so that's interesting. Tell me more about Anchorage. The void is great and vast. It holds terrors. The Anchorage is respite, a place of rest and safety. There were once many ships with many people. They came here, rested, refueled, took on passengers. Passengers traveled to many worlds around many stars, and then they stopped coming. But we remain. Are your ancestors the ones who built this place? She shakes her head. I do not think so. We lived here many years, but if we built the Anchorage, no memories remain. They tell us only that we serve. Perhaps it was built by our people. Perhaps it was always here. We do not know. Even the Cortex does not tell us, she thinks. There are older things that than that which we hold dear. You know what this reminds me of? There's a fiction or a setting, role-playing setting called Stars Without Numbers, while I have mixed feelings about the world building in that setting, there's one fundamental point where basically interstellar travel was done with like well, I don't remember what they call them, but it's something like psychics. They're done with psychics, but the thing is, those psychics at one point it disappeared, and basically all the points where they traveled in between and all that, they stayed behind. So it's like this big isolation for everybody. The human race just isolated everywhere because, you know, they stopped being able to travel. And that kind of reminded me of that when they said that at one point they stopped coming. So you think that that whoever built this place somehow broke things, or for some reason something happened. Anyway, Stars Without Numbers is actually, it reminds me a lot of Warhammer 40,000, which I do enjoy as well. It's got a very, very rich history, but I haven't read the novels of any of those, actually. Reading novels is where the fun of those settings I feel is really at. I like the settings and all that, just reading timelines and just wikis and all that. Anyway, tell me more about your society. I lead. As captain, the Anchorage is my command. Marriages, I approve. I lead the rites. To me falls all responsibility for survival. And she smiles. But such duties are onerous. I delegate as captains did before me. So we have pilots, majors, yamadars, and others. They prove themselves through work, rise through ranks. Excuse me. Even 10 years, or every 10 years, those of high rank may challenge me for my position. We speak to the cortex and match our minds. We solve scheduling, mathematical, logistical problems. Should my challenger win, I retire and advise. We cannot survive without cooperation. Okay. It seems to be a very pyramidal, or a pyramid structure here. Not in the sense, you know, it's not a pyramid skin or anything. That's not what I mean. Scheme, I should say, not skin. But it also, what strikes me as interesting in this answer is that I asked about society, and she talks to me about the political structure, and more so about her position than anybody else's. She does touch on those things, but that's not what society is. It might be to her, though. Was she... Anyway, what is that cortex you mentioned? It is a device sacred to us, and she says carefully, her eyes on yours. It is our only connection to our lost home. And she folds her arms and adds, we do not allow outworlders to see it. I mean, no offense, but do not ask. Okay. Do not ask? What do you mean, do not ask? Why can't I visit the cortex? She exhales, teeth clenched, and looks up. Fury wavers like a trapped flame behind her eyes. We are not always so protective. That was before we were not always so protective. That was before other outworlders, this guy's transparent, tried to steal it a few years ago. Okay, so let me just, before anything else, I hope the Codex says that they cannot ever go back home or something like that, because otherwise, not really sure what choice we're going to be given regarding the Codex, because we're going in there. Of course we are. I mean... Anyway, she holds up a hand. Perhaps you are different. This does not matter. No outworlders will ever be allowed to see the Cortex again. And also, of course, the Cortex connects with the memories of the fallen, whatever they are, the fallen of these guys. So let's see. Can you tell me anything about the outworlders who tried to steal that Cortex, or the Cortex? And she growls, sweeping a hand over her head. Clearly, she regrets broaching the topic at all. We were foolish. They came to us through a portal from your world. We welcomed them as guests and showed them the Anchorage, the Cortex. Her hand is a fist at her side. One of them put hands on it. His friends attacked us. The Anchorage burning the walls with their fire. Oh, attacked us. The Anchorage. Attacked the Anchorage, burning the walls with their fire.
I'll remember that.
Shaking her head, she continues, we killed them, of course. All except the one who touched the Cortex. Him, we questioned until he died, screaming a word over a word over and over. Screaming a word. And she watches your face. The face. Oh, crap. The word was... Dracogen. Did he send him here? Farewell, Captain. We will speak again, I'm sure. Okay, so let's not mess with these guys. Not on purpose, anyway. I'm going back... What happened? What is happening? Okay, it's good. I want to go back to Dracogen. I want to ask him what he knows about those guys. This three-dimensional image displays an evolving root-like system, or perhaps an organically growing data structure. Okay. Hello, Lasker. Oh, is it Lasker? That's a race or whatever. Does he say anything? Shvon Atwil Kushingfal. Okay. It sounds a little bit like that language from Star Trek or something. This display shows countless suns viewed from a moving point of reference. It plots distances and routes between them at a dizzying speed. Okay, so they don't have names. And there's a very nice looking carpet over here. I can go in. Pilot Major Genghis. Oh yeah, this guy. These ornate doors are firmly shut. When you get close to them, a voice says something in an alien tongue. You don't understand the words, but they sound suspiciously like a rejection. Okay. And that's the cortex. Or whatever. Oh, don't go. You can't read the text on this display, but the graphics seem to depict atmospheric conditions and power levels in the room. It's just a monitoring station. Nothing can be controlled from here. Okay, so let's have a chat with this guy over here. Hello, sir. Does he even talk? He should. Where he stems its lines on the features of it, where he stems its lines on the features of this man. Like the others in the Anchorage, he wears a suit of ornate armor, but he has set aside his helmet. His hair is thinning, and wrinkles web around his eyes and across his forehead. He is tinkering with some display, but he turns away from it to address you. Greeting. I am Genghis, pilot major of this Anchorage. Tell me about the Anchorage. It is many things to us, he says, his brow wrinkling. A home, a reminder of who we once were, and a promise. No, a prophecy. No, he trails off, clicking his tongue, then brightens. Can show you the Anchorage instead of just telling you about it. Can give you a tour, yes? What a remarkable idea, Tibir says in your ear. He'd have to leave the Cortex door to say it, to do it. Say yes. I'm not gonna say yes right now, but I might do it in the future. Tell me about your people. He wipes a cloth across a clear glass eye and glances at you. You have spoken with some, yes? We have lived here long. Many captains passed. We discovered we would have to wait for the ship to come. Until that time, until the arrival, we survive. We wait, and we train. Tell me about the ship. It was promised of old. It will carry us home, he smiles. Is perhaps ridiculous for Outworlders to understand? So many crews have passed on so many lives ago, yet still we believe. Some question whether it comes. Many have died before its arrival, yet still we believe. What is life without belief? Why do we keep on with routines and rituals, if not for belief that someday we will go home? The ship will come, he thinks. It must. It will be the one to see it. I will be the one to see it, he thinks. What do you do here? I serve, Outworlder. Am the keeper of the navigational cortex, its servant. I watch for sensors. I listen to its words. Information from antenna arrays filters in here. All knowledge of the Anchorage passes the cortex. If I fail in my duties, the ship might arrive without my foreknowledge. So I clean and listen and study if the ship should come in my life. And I believe it may. I will take its mind in mine, and we will plot a course for home. That day will come, he thinks. I know it. I will be remembered as a hero. What is the cortex? What is the cortex? He opens his mouth and shuts it quickly. I almost speak too fast. It is our watcher of the void. It is the keeper of our history. It knows the night skies of a million worlds. It holds our traditions and tells us how to live in accordance with old crews. It keeps us alive, maintains the Anchorage. He bows his head in reverence. It alone is the voice of truth. Never has it been wrong. Without it, he thinks, we would forget ourselves, becoming even more lost than we already are. It does all that? Says Tibir, whistling. Sounds incredibly... what's the word I'm thinking of? Ah, valuable. Genghis blinks several times, then smiles carefully. Yeah, it's a good thing he didn't listen to you, Tibir. Well, I found this Lascar helm in the bloom. Does that helmet belong to Yemadar Achille? He snatches it from your hands and studies it carefully. Void, take it. I hoped she still survived. His accent grows thicker with emotion. Please stop to show to Yanord. Find out what Achille discovered. Make life count. Another dead, he thinks. And Achille! She was my... No, I must not fall into despair. Must hope. Yeah, I'm thinking... Yeah. Farewell. Farewell, Outworlder. Okay, I'm gonna take the tour. But I'm not really sure how that's gonna happen. Can I send all of my guys with him on the tour, or do I need to... I don't know. Let's see what this thing is. Like everything else in the chamber, this device is perfectly polished and clean. Every so often, it emits a loud signal that vibrates the whole room. Oh, that's the clicking sound. But I haven't heard it yet. Or, I don't think I did. Okay, there's not many people to talk to here. I'm gonna save here, and let's touch this thing over here. What is that? The console is a bewildering array of displays, unlit buttons and switches, all helpfully labeled with words in a language you don't understand. Much of it is covered in a slight layer of dust, as if most of the console is rarely, if ever, used by the nearby Lascar. Let's examine the controls. You lean over the console, taking care not to press any buttons by accident. As you noticed before, much of the device is covered in dust. One screen on the side, however, is completely clean, and the buttons beside it are marked with dusty fingerprints. Okay, can I examine the controls again? No, let's leave the controls alone. I suppose this is only if I get myself into trouble and I need to do something with that, or maybe for later. Okay, can we open this time? The other one we couldn't. Oh! This door is made of some unfamiliar shiny metal. It has been polished to a mirror-like sheen. A magnetic strip of another, duller metal has a strange runic script scrawled across its surface. It looks like an instruction regarding the door. On trying the door, you discover that the message must be, "This door is stuck," or something equivalent. You might be able to force the door open, but it won't be easy. Okay, let's save the game before I do that, because no, actually, we should be able to. Yeah, Eratis is gonna do this. No problem. Let's force the door open. No, me. Eratis gets a oh. Okay, 55 over there for Alligern. That is decent. Can I get a 55 on me? Yeah, I can. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, that's a fail. It's fine. It's all good. Oh, you heave at the door, trying to push it sideways, upwards, downwards, all to no avail. Let's try again. Retry cost 1 might. That's really weird. But 70%. How did you get that better? There we go. See? That's all that mattered. Ooh, that was a critical success. Some mechanism within the door seems to be stuck, but you manage to overcome its resistance. You hear something crack, and then the door slides open, grinding a bit as it does. That guy's coming. I didn't do anything. This is new. Yeah, I'm going in. I don't care. What are you guys doing? It's all mine. Ooh, nice stuff. What do we have here? Amplified encephalic rush. We got concentrated spray flash, which is for healing, and hyperlutriated force, that's for might over there. And we have a cipher, the cure. And we have another, it's an oddity. Okay, so let's not take anything from here, because I want to see if I have, my cipher limit is good. Okay. So I have the Traveler's Star. Oh, Smart Traveler's Star. This gray metal choker bears a small 9-pointed star on its front, and it fits snugly when worn, adjusting to the size of its owner. It protects its bearer from small inconveniences encountered during travels in everyday life, including mild to moderate rain, floating road dust, and campfire smoke. Okay, that's actually quite valuable. And over here we have the cure. Target enemy drops some of their possessions when then wanders aimlessly, never attacking, while the cure is active, and it lasts for 6 rounds. That is something. The cure was brought into the 9th world when a scholar discovered a supply stored underneath an ancient ruin. Some Aeon priests believe that he planned to deliver a large quantity to the Steadfast, but was murdered before he could do so. This sphere may be the last of its kind. Well, that sounds very nice. I'll take all of that, thank you. And we also have this, and I'm gonna save it before I mess with that. This heavy door is sealed shut. It's the only thing that stands between you and the void. Okay, so that's space over there. Oh, yeah, this is orbiting around a planet. Framed by luxurious curtains, it does. Look at that. This window reveals the surface of an ocean world. Far below, the view is reminiscent of what you saw when you were born, but the water has a purplish hue, and the scattered land masses are brown and dead. This is clearly not the 9th world. The planet, you should say. The 9th world is Earth, I believe. Right? I think that's the case. Anyway, let's have a chat with Captain Yanor over here and see if she says anything different. That's again. Everything is again. So you come to me with questions in your eyes. No, it's in the mouth, and... Oh, good. Okay, well, that's gonna be that for this episode. We're out of time, so what I'll do right now is I'll go back to Dracogen, and then on our way back, we're gonna try, and that's gonna be next episode, on our way back, we're gonna try and go to the Surgeon's Nest and see if I can fix Eridis. But for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.